What is up, Patriots? Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? Today is Friday. Woohoo! Throw a party. Unless you guys have to work this weekend, then I'm sorry that it's not Friday for you. Take 2 seconds and drop where you're tuning in from in those comments for me, please. After that, give me some hearts and likes so we can break the algorithm, get this video out to as many people as possible. And then do me a favor, take 2 seconds and share this video. Thank you so much. You're obviously not tuning in from our YouTube page because YouTube has taken us down for 2 weeks because we like Donald Trump and they don't. So if you guys want to watch this on YouTube, you'd prefer not to watch it on Facebook, you can go to my personal YouTube at Kayli Thompson and you can watch it there. How's everybody doing? Love from Sacramento. Thank you for tuning in. Washington State, Oklahoma, East Texas, North Carolina, Northern California. What's up, you guys? How about we get another hashtag? How about hashtag Make America Think Again? Because, man, how did everybody like Joe Biden's speech? That was a keeper, right? Hey, let's talk about gun policy. Well, my dad used to lay in bed at night and stare at the ceiling. What, Joe? What? Wait, what? What's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, take 2 seconds, share this video. Let's get that viewership up. I have a special guest with me today. His name is Joel Campbell. He's a pretty cool dude. You guys are going to like what he has to say, so I'm excited to introduce him in just a second. President Trump, best president ever. Thank you for that hashtag Make America Think Again. You guys rock. I hope you all are off work or close to being off work. That would be lovely. All right, y'all. So here's what's happening. I am going to bring Joel on. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then I've got some questions for him. And then I'm thinking I'm going to let you guys ask him some questions too. If you've got a good question, I'm going to let you guys ask him some questions as well. So without further ado, let's bring on Joel Campbell. Hey, Joel, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad you're here with me. I think these people might get tired of me talking all the time, so I'm sure they're glad to see a different face.
Yeah, look at this pretty face right here.
I say, there you go. Got the beard game is strong.
Thank you so much.
Something I can't do.
It takes some time. You just don't quit shaving for a little bit, and you'll be there.
All right, man. So why don't you give our viewers just tell them a little bit about yourself since they don't know you. I like to do that. Allow them to get to know you just a little bit. Whatever you want to tell them.
Yeah, no, I'll make it short and sweet here. So, yeah, Joel Campbell. I graduated from Kansas State University with a degree in business. Moved to Topeka in 2010 and started working here because this was the best place that I could find a job for at the time. And so I've been here about 11 years now. Decided recently to run for city council, district number 7, which is why we're here. And we'll get into more of that later, I'm sure. And just to get this out of the way, yes, former Proud Boy, Joel Campbell, most hated man in Topeka right now, possibly, at least most well-known. I found that out last night. I went to visit a couple local bars, 3 or 4 of them. At every single bar, some stranger recognized me, came up to me, talked to me. I had a blast.
That's cool,
just
though.
Talking to random strangers about local policies and tell them about myself. I was so fun. So it's not always bad to be the villain as certain people want to make you out to be,
Yeah, man, I feel that. Thankfully, I don't even want to say thankfully. Like, I haven't been anywhere around here where anybody's recognized me, but I feel like if I went to like Florida, Texas, places that most of our viewers are from, they would know who I am. So, but they wouldn't be coming up to me mad. They'd be like, "Hey, Kayli, how's it going?" So that's good. I'm glad that you had fun with that. That's awesome. All right, so I would like to know. My first question is, how did give me a summary of how events unfolded with your interview with the Capital Journal. If for those of you who aren't familiar, I actually am from Topeka, Kansas as well. I lived there a majority of my life, and I've been in Ohio for the last 3 years. So the Capital Journal is a very left-leaning news media publication, as are most nowadays. So I want you to tell me how that went for you, Joel.
It did not go as planned. It did not go planned whatsoever. So I hardly ever check my email, and I got this email from this guy. I missed it actually, like he sent it a week before. So I'm scrolling through some of my emails because I'm looking for a package that hadn't been delivered yet, and that's about the only time I ever check my email. I see this reply to himself, and I click on it. Say, "Hey, Joel, I've been trying to get a hold of you. This is Blaze Mesa from Topeka Capital. I really want to do this interview. I see that you're running for city council. Blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm glad that I caught this. This is a good opportunity for me to get my name out there and to be in the spotlight a little bit." And so I agreed to, and we set up a time. And so he's like, "Here's the questions I want to ask you. It's why are you running? What brought you to Topeka? What changes do you want to see made? What policies?" So I'm doing my research, going through all that. I get there, and we're kind of chatting behind the scenes before he goes live on his podcast, which he never did post. I love that. So what made it into the Capitol was just kind of nitpicked and chose what made it into the journal.
Wait a minute. You mean they botched it and just put what they wanted for their narrative?
Oh, absolutely. Because I think
Okay.
if somebody could see the whole 30 or listen to the whole 30 minutes, they might not hate me as much as they do now, which is why I'm glad that I'm here now. So this is unedited. This is live. Nothing's
Yeah.
going to be just, plucked out of the air and said, "Look at what this Campbell kid said." So anyways, 30 seconds in, I'm telling him about myself like I did earlier with you. And he stops me. "What about the Proud Boys?" And I think to myself, I just walked into a freaking buzzsaw. I said, "This is a hit piece." I said, "Oh man, here we go. This is not good." So what he did is he taken some screenshots of my profile before. So he must have been stalking me for a while. Stuff that I haven't, I don't ever update my Facebook. I just, I post here and there, try to post, you're friends with me, some funny things online just to make people laugh, And so he started dissecting this. What is this membership with the Proud Boys, and why were you a member of it? And this is a hate group, and they had hyperlinks to the KKK and how Canada named them a terrorist group. He brought that up in the interview. I said, "Dude, I'm running for a city council in Topeka. I'm not too
Right.
worried about what Canada's doing, and I'm not even a member anymore, anyways." But I was like, "Let's unbox this. Let's talk about it." So it was about 3 minutes of me telling about myself and what I want to see change in Topeka, and 27 minutes of hammering me about Proud Boy questions over and over and over again. It was lovely.
I
Then he
would
wants to
not
do a
expect
follow-up.
anything less from them.
Yeah. Oh man. I tell you what though. So I'm going to use this negative spotlight for good. I'm going to turn it into positive. So now I made the front page of the paper. I had so many calls and texts that morning when it came out. So now I'm going to be the most well-known candidate of any district in the entire city of Topeka. So thank you, Topeka Capital Journal, for getting my name out there, because now I have this platform to be able to talk about the issues that I want to see changed in Topeka. That's probably one of the only reasons I'm on your show. 3 weeks ago, I was a nobody. I was just another face in the crowd, and I got people buying me shots at bars and wanting to talk policy with me that I've never met before. It's insane. I love it, though. I love this, and we're going to make this city better.
That's great. That's great news. Lord knows that they need it. I know that our viewers don't know much about Topeka, but I do, and I know that they need it. So my second question is, what does it mean to be disassociated with the Proud Boys? Like, so were you a formal member, and then why did you feel the need to disassociate yourself?
Yeah. So disassociated, I basically, renounced my membership. And all that means, so I was removed from all the group chats, the group texts, things like that. I not allowed at the formal meetings anymore that they did. So I basically and some of the guys, and people love to hammer me this online. Like, you still hang out with them? You still drink with some of them sometimes? Yeah, none of them are terrorists at all. Like, you've got brothers and fathers and sons out there, hardworking, middle class people that want to get together and have beers every now and then. So the disassociation means I didn't agree with where the Proud Boys were headed. And I didn't really want to seem like a hypocrite, because when it started to get political, especially after the January 6th riots, which were coincidentally blamed on the Proud Boys, probably just because Joe Biden mentioned them in their freaking debate, back in October, the poor boys. You remember that, because he doesn't know what the heck we're called. And so I thought that was hilarious at the time when I was a member. anyways, so you can run with this narrative about the Proud Boys being responsible for the attacks, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I mean, our president back when I was a member couldn't even schedule a meeting on time to meet once a month for 5 or 10 people, and you want to expect that we had plans to shut off the water in DC and to storm the Capitol and take people hostage. I was like, oh my goodness. And so really it's just all it is we were a scapegoat at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew that I wanted to get into politics even before this. Like back in September, I thought about running. And so I figured to myself, if I don't like the Proud Boys being political, because it was just supposed to be a drinking club, and we can get into that too, then I'm doing myself a disservice. I'm serving two masters here. I need to disassociate from them because I want to start my own political career. And Proud Boys should not be political. That's not what it was meant to be. It's just meant to be a men's club, men being men, kind of teaching young men how to be a better person in society. It started in the basement of a bar. When it turned political, that was time for me to step away because I want to get political now. So I can't be a hypocrite.
That's fair. I want to go ahead and take this question from Larry. He said, do you have any challengers for the seat that you're running for city council?
Yes, Larry, I do. The incumbent he hadn't filed yet, which was funny because when the article came out, they went and researched a bunch of people because you can see on the city council website page who's filed. And it was just me in District 7. So they're all getting nervous, like, oh man, we got to file. We got to get people in there. We got to get this guy out of here. And 5 or 6 people said that they're going to file. And the incumbent hadn't filed yet. And so I looked just the other day and he has officially filed. So he probably got a little bit nervous about all the publicity that I was getting and said, oh man, yeah, I might need to start actually trying here. So, and I hope, and this is good. I hope that a bunch of people want to run for city council in all districts, not just my own. For mine, it's going to water down the pool, and I plan to get my name out there more than anyone else. And so I'm going to make it to the general. And so I got one other guy to beat. I'm going to make this happen. I'm not going to stop until I win. I have such a positive message. We're going to do this. We're going to win. But I'm so glad that me, the article that I was in is getting local people more involved in local politics. That's what we need. I hope that a bunch of people run in District 5, District 3. All the odd years are up right now. Good for you. Go run. Go make a change in your community. If you don't agree with me and my stance, run against me. I support that. I love it.
Absolutely. I think, like I told you when we were talking backstage, people ask us all the time, what do we do? I'm like, hey man, you got to get involved. We got to stop talking and start doing, because the only way that we're going to overcome what we've got in office is to run for office. And it's not for everybody. I understand that. But, for the people that can, and they've got, they have enough passion about our country, they should do it, because we got a lot of people that are in office right now that could care less about America and the American people, period.
It's time to get politicians out of politics. Sorry to interrupt.
I agree.
It's time for the working man to step up and make some changes.
Yes. Get politicians out of politics. Facts. So how do you feel about the America First message? Like, what that is. Pretty much everybody that's watching knows what that is. It's basically the message that Donald Trump brought. Like, we take care of our people, we take care of our own, and then we move forward from that. And then do you feel like that kind of thought could be taken to a local level? And do you intend to use that thinking at a local level?
Sure. So, and a lot of people, I'm sure your audience does, but a lot of people, especially on the left, don't know that Trump didn't really come up with this America First. It's been around forever. He harnessed that energy and used it better than anyone probably in the history of the United States. And it's something that I totally agree with. Why are you not putting your own country first? Why would I not put Topeka first? At its core, why would I not put my family before someone else's family? If I can't build myself and my family up and love them and love myself, then how am I going to help somebody else? I'm going to be totally worthless to you. If America, falls, how are we going to help somebody else in some other country? If we're just a trash country, how are we going to go help other people? So it's a great policy, and I think I can use it at the local level. You need to put Topekans first. We need to put Topeka first. The way that I'm going to try to use it is I want to see transparency in what's going on with local politics. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And it's time for someone to step up and expose what's going on. Why do we have a 10% tax? In Topeka, where's that money going? Is there, I'm no libertarian by any means, but that's, I think that you should be taxed some. But as far as the amount of taxes that we pay, for example, we just had my main road done not too long ago. It took about 9 or 10 months. It came in under budget. So where did that money go? And, 2 or 3 months down the line, we already have potholes.
Yep.
It almost looks like the road wasn't touched. So
What's crazy, Joel, is I lived in Topeka my whole life. All my family lives there, and I will never go back. I just won't. The taxes there, some are over 10% sales tax. I tell people that live in Ohio that same thing, or anybody that I run into, and they're like, "Are you kidding me?" And then the people that live in Kansas are like, "Wait a minute, you don't pay tax on, like, you go to the drive-through, we don't pay tax on our food. We don't pay a food tax. You still pay taxes in Kansas on that stuff. It's crazy." I feel like it's got to be one of the highest tax states in the world.
Yeah, it's insane. And I'll tell you what, Kansans, if you go look at the national map, you're going to be really disappointed, especially if you live in Shawnee County and realize what we're paying here. And I thought about moving. Topeka is one of the highest crime rates in all of the country. It's one of the most dangerous cities in the country. A lot of people don't know that. Mm-hmm. So I think instead of I'm not saying that you ran away. You guys made a really good decision. But instead of me running away from these problems, I need to do something about it because I love this city. There's nothing wrong with loving your city. There's nothing wrong with loving your country. And so I need to see change, and it's not happening. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to get into this. What can I do to help my community? Outside of some type of community service, spending some weekend volunteering, you're helping a few people, for a few hours. How can I make some real permanent change? And so city council is what I landed on.
That's awesome. That pretty much answered my next question that I had for you.
But
I was going to say, what's your motivation for running for city council? But I mean, there is a lot of, just like you talked about the streets, where you guys are taxed incredibly, and Topeka's got some of the worst roads I've ever driven on. And once they redo them, within 2 years, they're bad again. And I'm like, where does this money go? Like, where are we lining politicians' pockets? What are we doing with it? It can't be anything productive. So.
Yeah. So as I kind of stated before, obviously, I'm tired of the failing politicians doing a disservice to us. We are the capital of the entire state. So why is Topeka looked at as such a trash city? I mean, even Wichita makes fun of us. That's not good.
Right.
And joking there for, if you're from Wichita, I apologize. But so why is the capital not a beautiful city? Why doesn't it have good paying jobs? Why is the crime rate so high? What can we do to change this stuff? There's so many things wrong with this city, and no one seems to be doing anything about it. Yet we're paying tons in taxes. Where's your money going, Topekans?
Exactly. So Jordan says, when do y'all think the 25th Amendment will be used on Biden? Personally, this is just my opinion. I don't think it's going to be much longer for the simple fact that, the way everything went down with his first press conference and, the fact that photos were leaked about he had to have a cheat sheet and all that. I think they're trying to line it up fairly quickly, but I'm not sure. Do you happen to know the general how many people are in Topeka, Joel?
Off the top of my head, I don't. We got into the discussion. I should have looked it up. I'm thinking it's around between 120 to 150,000 people, maybe something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
And we have, and I was looking up crime statistics. Topekans have a 1 in 17 chance of being a victim of a violent crime or property crime. That is outrageously high for a city that's supposed to be the capital to represent our entire state.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay. What else? What do I got here? Okay. So what advice would you give American patriots right now? Like just people like you and me. And how do you feel that they can be most effective in changing things that they don't agree with?
So as the late great Jimmy V said, don't give up. Don't ever give up. We need to band together, band with me, and so we can see some real change. It has to start somewhere, right? You can't just, and that's why I was telling you earlier backstage. One of the biggest reasons I would get into online fights on Facebook with people and complain about my city, complain about the country, and things that I see as wrong. And so it's all negative, negative, negative. Why not turn that into some positive energy and do something about it instead of sit back behind a keyboard and complain all day? So when I found the city council, and just by chance that my district was going to be up for election or re-election next year, so I decided it was time to throw my hat into the rink. How can we be effective in change that we don't agree with? You guys, people listen to this podcast, get involved locally, get involved in your community, on school boards and politics, whatever you can do something to better your surrounding area. Make it spread, make it contagious, and keep on doing. Don't give up.
That's great advice. I say that daily because it's exhausting. Even just what little I do, to inform others is very exhausting. But I also would say don't not vote, you guys. If you're not going to run for office, you're not going to do anything else. You have to vote at the very least. Don't let, my vote won't be counted or they'll rig or what, don't give it excuses. Go vote. Seriously, go vote.
I love that you say that, because that brings up a point that I completely forgot about. You're saying that your vote matters, especially at the local level. So I was looking through, all the districts and looking at how many people voted. I got to see the breakdown percentages in county elections for city council. What percent of people do you think vote in a city council election or like a local election in Topeka?
You
say national 40%? 40%. My district, by chance, over the last 5 elections, was the highest by far at 13%.
Wow.
13% of the eligible voters in District 7 voted last election.
Wow.
So your vote in a local election counts. Somebody who's on the local city council, somebody who's a mayor, that's what people don't understand. They have more power, more chance to directly affect your life than somebody who's sitting in DC thousands of miles away.
Absolutely.
And why are we not voting in the more important elections are these ones right here, not the presidential election. It's just the people making local changes or sitting there not making changes at all, which is even worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I guess I would say that statistic does not surprise me. I don't understand why we view the presidential election as so much more important. States have a lot of power. So you guys have to get out and vote. You got to vote. Anytime that you can vote, you need to vote. Do your research and vote, please. Anytime you can, vote. Lorraine, yes, at some point I am. It will not be this year. My ultimate plans are I need to finish my degree. I'm getting my bachelor's degree, and then I would like to go to law school first, because I want to think like a lawyer. I want to know law like a lawyer. I don't want to be a lawyer. I just want to have that knowledge so that I can better represent wherever and whoever I'm running for. So that's the answer to that question. Do you guys have any questions for Joel before we hop off of here? Anything you guys can think of, anything you want to ask him? I know that he likes to answer questions, and he's going to have to get used to answering questions. So anything you guys want to ask him, shoot.
Yeah, fire away.
That's true. 13% vote, 87% complain.
That is totally true. Yes.
Oh, man. Let's see. I'm going to roll back through here and see if there's any questions. There you go. There's a good one.
All right, what do we got here?
Do you think the crime rate and poverty is high because of Democratic policies like Detroit, San Francisco, et cetera?
It's city council is supposed to be nonpartisan. I'm sure that most of you people here can guess which way that I lean, whether right or left. it's a little bit obvious. I would say that's got to be part of it, because Topeka is a fairly liberal city. Most of your urbanized areas are really liberal. And I hate to say it, I really don't want to place the blame on one party, because let's be honest, Republicans aren't really,
much better.
They're not much better at all, really. There's only a handful of politicians I really respect. But yeah, it's policies that they put in place where you look at Detroit and they have done nothing to help the city whatsoever. And it trickles down to smaller liberal cities like this one here.
Yep, absolutely. What's your number? I think she means what's your number one goal to help change in your city? What's your top priority?
My top priority is exposure to what's going on behind the scenes in Topeka. One of the biggest reasons being that I want to get is the tax transparency, finding out where this money is going, why these people are voting the way that they're voting. When they have their city council meetings, and kind of exposing some of the corruptness that's going on in this town.
So transparency, which is what we can't find anywhere in our politics right now. Joe Biden admitted himself, I'll be transparent with you when I feel like it. That's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, I've got nothing to lose. I'm working class. I don't need to have this job. Like some of these guys need to have this power, and some of their votes directly conflict with their jobs, which is sad. And so a lot of people don't realize that. So I've done some research on some of these guys, and the things that they're voting on directly affects their bank account over here. That's not me. Mine is going to be giving back to Topekans.
So what are some of your policies that people can buy into? You could just name one.
Sure. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and I think something great that we need to see in this town. We have your high crime rate that I talked about. We're gonna back off on the tax for now. Is implementing some type of program at schools that maybe, how like in kindergarten, first grade, they had like cops and firefighters. They'd visit the school and it was so fun and the kids loved it. Well, why did it stop there? Why don't we get them more involved and have some type of curriculum built around the community and getting the cops? You could implement some program like in middle school to high school. You have to use it to graduate. You have to take these classes and to learn about, what to do and what not to do at a traffic stop. Learn local laws, learn some state, federal laws, things like that. And then if you get a good enough grade, up to your senior year and you're 18 or I don't know, all the liabilities, then you can do like a ride along with cops. Imagine if you're able to put your fingerprint on every single kid in this school that now has 4 or 5 years of experience learning with cops. Maybe we could build a better community, and there's not going to be so much hatred between the people and the cops. They're just here to be to serve us, right?
Right.
And that's what it needs to be more of. He was telling me a story where when he was a kid, he'd run up to a cop to ask him for baseball cards back in the day. Why can't we get back to that? Why can't we get just getting along with everyone, right?
Yeah, I love that. My brother's actually a cop in Topeka, so I love that. It's disgraceful to see the distance between citizens and police. I mean, these men and women are sacrificing their lives every day to serve their community. That's it's not like they're paid millions of dollars, people. Okay, they go out there and leave their families, and especially in Topeka, my brother has run into some crazy stuff. So I know it takes a special kind of person, and I have the utmost respect for law enforcement officers, period.
Yeah. And you don't have to be a bootlicker to enjoy the cops. You can still support them and still say, hey, some of these laws are wrong,
Right. Exactly. So knowing what you know about elections, how confident are you that you will be elected for city council?
So if you're gonna do something, why not think that you're gonna win? If you don't think you're going to win, then why are you even trying? And that's kind of the way that I love to attack life. I think that's why I'm successful in the job that I have here in Topeka. That's why I think that I'm, a great father to my kids. That's why I think that, just go win. So my short answer, yes, I do. I think that there's going to be more people that are going to run. I think it's going to be a watered down primary, and I'm going to be able to get my message out because no one's going to outwork me. I don't care who puts their name on the ballot, the incumbent or a bunch of randos from my district. They're not going to outwork me. So I'm going to make it to the general, and then from there, we'll see. It's going to be a wild ride, and I'm glad that you guys are on board with me. And only with your guys' support am I going to be able to win, because it's going to have to be grassroots. The incumbent, really, really wealthy guy can just throw tons of money at it, where I'm going to actually have to work to get the spot. So it's going to mean more when I do get it, and I'm going to take it with respect. So
Yeah, so go ahead and take Larry Ferguson's name down because he said he's won 6 consecutive city elections. He said Joel would like some help. Please pass this on, or he can contact me on Facebook. So that's a good connection. I'd write his name down.
Yeah, write his name down. I will definitely take all the help that I can get. I truly appreciate that. Thank you.
You've got a lot of comments coming in, wishing you good luck. So I'll tell you this right now: you've got a community of patriots that'll back you in prayer and positive vibes for sure. Yes. Nay, he's running in Kansas, Topeka, Kansas, for city council. So, all right, Joel, you have anything else you want to add before we hop off here?
So you guys can find me on my Facebook page, Campbell for Topeka City Council. That's my official Facebook page for when I'm running. And then as far as if you guys would like to donate, I would love that, or just share my page, and that's totally fine too. Give it a like and a share. Like you said, with the algorithms, that's the best way to do it. Yes. Also, so I have my account set up to where I can track all my expenditures and donations. You can PayPal me at Real Joel Campbell. That's my PayPal account, and I've got that link to my my account where I do my all my election things and stuff like that. So I love your guys' support. Give my page a like and a share. Get my name out there. Talk about me, whether negative or positive, because people are learning to know my name. I see my name all over articles. It has nothing to do with Topeka City Council, and I love it. And I'll comment on there and talk to them. If there's anyone that wants to talk to me directly, I would love to meet you. And even if you're not a Topekan, I'll take the time. I will, message you through DMs. I'll take your phone calls. I'd go out if you want to meet in person, recorded or not. It doesn't matter to me. The only way that I'm going to win is to meet, people that want to talk and discuss, because I understand the controversy that's supposedly around me, which is totally false narrative behind my past, right? Yeah. But if I wouldn't have joined them back in the day, then I wouldn't be here now. So I can't really say that I regret it.
That's right. And you also told me backstage that you learned a lot, just hanging out with those guys, and, learned a lot of stuff. So I say anything that teaches you stuff, whether it becomes the end result is negative or positive, is good, because we only learn and grow in life by learning and growing. So
I suppose before I did have this written down. I found this. There's actually a constitution for the Proud Boys, which I'm no longer a member of, by the way. So throw it out there because we've been 30 minutes in. but get this. It's actually in the National Proud Boy Constitution, which is a real thing. No person eligible for membership in the fraternity shall be discriminated against or denied membership on the basis of race, color, creed, national origin, veteran status, disability, religion, marital status, or sexual orientation. An automatic ban, or just you're not allowed in. And then furthermore, a person that believes in the inherent supremacy of any one race over another, or who is a member of any organization promoting the supremacy of any race, one race over another, may not become or remain a member of the fraternity. This is including but not limited to any person that currently identifies as a white nationalist, white supremacist, or alt-right, or anyone who is a member of organizations or cells, including but not limited to Antifa. That was added on later on when Antifa became a thing. So that is actually in their national constitution. So if you believe any of those things, you're automatically out. And also, there's no discrimination. The two biggest things to join, if somebody would want to join them, I'm not promoting them by any means, but you have to be born a man, still identify as a man, and just believe that that you love your Western culture. And those three things, that's all it takes. You can't be a racist, by the way. So,
or a white supremacist, or.
So I know I'm going to be getting a lot of those questions that I have. So no, and those are easy answers. And so I'm not going to dance for people. I'm not a racist. I'm not a white supremacist. Well, why? What's your proof? My proof is right here. I have over 1,000 friends on Facebook. Somebody would have called me out by now, I think, if I truly was. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Jordan really wanted you to answer this question, so I'll let you answer this and then we can hop off. It says, do you believe that the bill that passed for Oakland residents receiving $500 each a month with an income less than $59,000 will help them or make them lazy? And do you believe that it is discrimination because white people will not be getting this payment even if they make less than $59,000?
So you and me even talked. That's a great question, by the way.
It is a great question.
You and me talked backstage how we are about the stimulus. It kind of goes along with that we are both for helping people. Like I want to help people. Now I don't necessarily want to help them so much to where they depend on it and they're not going to do something about their current situation. Right. So as far as if this is truly going to help out those people in Oakland, then I support it 100%. I did not know about the part if you're even white, then you don't get it. I think that is by definition racism. So that part I do not agree with. But if let's say everyone in Oakland is making less than 59 grand, getting this money, as long as we have tax revenue for it, which Topeka you do, then I think it's okay to help these people out. Well, why not? It shouldn't continue on forever. I hope it gets them back on their feet. But there should be no race behind it. It should be everyone within a certain district. You should not be able to discriminate like that.
Yeah, it's I believe it's for people of color only. So yeah, that's unfortunate that it's come to that. There's so much divide right now. That's what they're pushing.
It's modern day segregation, and that's all it is. And that's why I hope people wake up and see is that they want to separate you by that. So, and I'm not saying that this was part of the reason that they did it, but it's you're basically pitting the classes against each other. You're pitting POC, people of color, against white people with everything that you do. Why does it always have to be about color? It doesn't. It shouldn't be. They're trying to segregate us. Topeka, people listening, watching right now, don't let them segregate us. That's what they want. That's what they want. That's what the elitists want to do, is separate us. We come together, we're a lot more powerful. People like you and me can win these elections. We can make true changes in our community.
Facts. All right, guys, I think that's it for us. But Joel, thank you for being on the show with me. I know everybody enjoyed having you here. They always like new guests. Everybody, please go follow Joel on Facebook. I know he's on other platforms. If you would like to support him, please do that as well. And all of us from Primetime Patriots wish you the best of luck in your city council endeavors.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we will talk to you next time.